America, a land of dreams, a land of freedom, a nation born from rebellion, forged in the fires of revolution. From the very beginning, our forefathers understood the importance of firearms. They were more than just weapons. They were tools of survival and symbols of liberty. Not just owning them, but building them, repairing them, mastering them. This craftsmanship was an art, a skill passed down through generations. It was in their blood, a necessity for survival. In the harsh wilderness, every family needed to be self-sufficient. They didn't rely on kings or governments for protection. They relied on themselves, their families, and their communities. They took responsibility for their own safety, their own destiny. Fathers taught their sons, mothers taught their daughters. This self-reliance, this spirit of independence is woven into the very fabric of our nation. Think about it. It's a legacy that has been handed down through the ages. Those first settlers braving the unknown, staring down danger with every sunrise. They faced countless challenges, but they persevered. They knew that a firearm wasn't just a tool for hunting or defense. It was a symbol of freedom, a symbol of their right to live as they chose, a symbol of defiance against tyranny. It represented their fight for independence, their struggle to create a nation where liberty and justice prevailed. This wasn't just about putting food on the table. It was about ensuring their survival, their way of life. It was about safeguarding their hard-won liberty. Every shot fired, every musket crafted was a testament to their determination. This is the America our founding fathers envisioned, a land where people were free to defend themselves, to live without fear of oppression. For generations, this legacy lived on. Families passed down not just the firearms, but the knowledge and the spirit that came with them. Passed down from father to son, mother to daughter. The skills, the stories, the values, they were all part of the inheritance. The knowledge of crafting a firearm, of understanding its intricate workings, became a rite of passage. It was a connection to their heritage, a link to their ancestors. It was a connection to our past, a testament to the indomitable spirit that made America great. This spirit of independence and self-reliance is what set us apart. But somewhere along the way, something changed. The values that once defined us began to shift. The government, the very entity our forefathers fought to escape, now seeks to control this fundamental right. They impose regulations and restrictions, chipping away at our freedoms. They fear an armed citizenry, a population capable of defending itself. But we must remember our roots, our history, and the principles that built this nation. The American Revolution. A pivotal moment in history that changed the course of nations. A ragtag group of farmers and shopkeepers, outgunned and outmanned, yet driven by an unyielding desire for freedom and independence. Yet they stood their ground against the mightiest army in the world, defying the odds with sheer determination and courage. How? Because they were armed. Armed not just with weapons, but with the spirit of liberty and the will to fight for their rights. And not just with any weapons, but with firearms often built and repaired in their own homes. These were tools crafted with care and precision, symbols of their resolve. This was a people's revolution, fought and won by ordinary citizens wielding the tools of liberty. Every musket, every rifle was a testament to their commitment. The newly formed nation faced threats from all sides. The struggle for survival was constant and unrelenting. Hostile native tribes, European powers, eager to reclaim their lost colonies, and internal strife threatened to unravel the young republic. The challenges were immense. The ability of citizens to arm themselves wasn't just a right, it was a necessity. It was the backbone of their defense and their way of life. It ensured the survival of the nation. The militia, composed of everyday people, was the first line of defense. It fueled the westward expansion, tamed the frontier, and secured America's place on the world stage. The spirit of self-reliance and readiness to defend was crucial. This wasn't just about fighting wars. It was about building a nation, a community, and a future. It was about creating a society where freedom and self-determination were paramount. Every action, every decision was a step towards a stronger, more resilient nation. Every homestead, every farm, every small town was a mini armory, ready to defend itself against any threat. This decentralized power was a cornerstone of their security and the foundation of our great nation. This self-sufficiency, this decentralized power, terrified those who craved control. It was a direct challenge to tyranny and oppression. The enemies of freedom have always feared an armed populace. They know that an armed citizenry is a bulwark against despotism. They know that a disarmed nation is a conquered nation. History has shown time and again that those who are unarmed are vulnerable to subjugation, and they will stop at nothing to achieve their goals. The struggle for freedom is ongoing, and the lessons of the past remain ever relevant. The freedom to build and tinker with firearms didn't just protect our liberty, it ignited American innovation. This freedom allowed individuals to experiment, to push boundaries, and to create new technologies that would shape the future of the nation. It's no coincidence that the United States became a global leader in firearms technology. The culture of innovation and the spirit of independence fostered an environment where creativity could flourish. From the repeating rifles that won the West, such as the iconic Winchester rifle, which became a symbol of American frontier life, to the semi-automatic weapons that defended freedom in the 20th century, like the M1 Garand used in World War II, American ingenuity shone through. These advancements were not just about creating more effective weapons, they were about pushing the limits of what was possible. Think of men like Eli Whitney and Samuel Colt. Whitney's invention of the cotton gin and his development of interchangeable parts revolutionized manufacturing, while Colt's revolver became a staple of American weaponry. Visionaries who revolutionized manufacturing and brought firearms production to the masses. Their contributions extended beyond firearms, influencing the broader industrial landscape. Their inventions weren't born in sterile government labs, but in the workshops and garages of a free people. This grassroots innovation was driven by necessity and a desire to improve. I prefer to think of John Moses Browning, a prolific firearms inventor who is credited with designing or significantly improving various firearms, including the iconic 1911 pistol, the Browning automatic rifle, semi-automatic shotguns, and machine guns, many of which were adopted and still used by the U.S. military. He started tinkering with firearms at age 13 at home in his father's small shop. This drive to improve and refine is deeply ingrained in the American character. It is a testament to the power of individual creativity and determination. It is deeply ingrained in the American character. This spirit of innovation is not just a part of our history, it is a part of who we are as a nation. But this innovation wasn't limited to firearms. The techniques and skills developed in gunsmithing had far-reaching impacts. The skills and knowledge honed in crafting guns spilled over into other industries. Precision engineering, metallurgy, and woodworking, these disciplines were all pushed forward by the desire to build better, more reliable firearms. The meticulous attention to detail required in gunsmithing set new standards for quality and precision. This cross-pollination of skills and knowledge led to advancements in various fields, from automotive to aerospace. This ingenuity, born from the freedom to tinker and experiment, is what truly makes America exceptional. It is this spirit that has driven countless innovations and continues to inspire future generations. The legacy of gunsmithing is not just in the weapons themselves, but in the broader culture of innovation and excellence that it fostered. This legacy continues to shape American technology and industry to this day. In conclusion, our right to make our own firearms at home is under attack with the horrendous ruling by the Supreme Court this week. The Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld a Biden administration regulation on the nearly impossible-to-trace weapons called ghost guns, clearing the way for continued serial numbers, background checks, and age verification requirements to buy them in kits online. The 7-2 opinion found that existing gun laws allow regulation of the kits. It comes after President Donald Trump ordered a review of federal gun policy that could undermine or reverse regulations championed by his predecessor. This ruling is a very bad step in the wrong direction. Any and all firearm restrictions are unconstitutional. The founders were very clear on that fact. Shall not be infringed means exactly that. No permits or permission slips. No limits on rate of fire or magazine capacity. No limits, no restrictions, no regulations. You have the constitutional right to build anything you want in the privacy of your own home. The Constitution does not grant the government the power to regulate firearms, or even what could become a firearm in any way. This is not the first time the Supreme Court has messed something up. Remember Dred Scott? But what does this mean for the future of firearms innovation in America? The spirit of creativity and independence that has driven technological advancements for centuries now faces new challenges. As regulations tighten, The freedom to experiment and innovate becomes increasingly constrained. The workshops and garages that once birthed revolutionary ideas may now be stifled under the weight of legal restrictions. Yet, history has shown us that innovation often thrives in adversity. The American spirit is resilient, and the desire to push boundaries is deeply embedded in our DNA. While the current legal landscape may appear daunting, it is also an opportunity for new forms of ingenuity to emerge. Whether it's through the development of new materials, alternative manufacturing techniques, or entirely new approaches to firearms design, the drive to innovate will find a way. As we navigate these turbulent times, it's crucial to remember the legacy of those who came before us. Visionaries like John Moses Browning and Samuel Colt didn't let obstacles deter them. They used challenges as stepping stones to greater achievements. The same spirit must guide us now. In the end, the future of firearms innovation in America will depend on our ability to adapt, to persevere, and to continue fighting for the freedoms that have always defined us. The path ahead may be fraught with difficulties, but it is also ripe with possibilities. Together, we can ensure that the legacy of American ingenuity not only survives but thrives. Thank you for watching. Stay frosty, my friends. This fight is far from over. Keep your head down and your powder dry.